Now at 4, your community focus, we're talking COVID-19 today with Dr. Jim McDonald from the Rhode Island Department of Health.
As you know, he joins us every week on 12 News Now at 4. Dr. M, thanks for being here.
Hey, Brian and Kim, it's great to be with you again. Coming to you live from my dining room, in case you're curious again.
We are always curious where you are. It's great to see you today. A lot happened today at the briefing. We also learned today that about 1,000 shots were made available to students in Cranston. However, only about 300 received a dose. Are you concerned about the interest or willingness of younger people to get vaccinated right now?
Yeah, we need the demand to be higher. And I think one of the things that I think kids need to be thinking of is it's about your personal health, but also I don't think kids want to be on quarantine anymore. And I think that's an important message for teenagers is once I get you fully vaccinated, I'm not going to have you on quarantine as much. And that's something that's worthwhile. Plus, the other thing for teenagers is it's a great way to protect your mom, dad, grandpa, and grandma, and other folks around your home.
Dr. M, earlier this week I did a story about some national experts saying that we in the U.S. may never reach herd immunity for COVID-19. So a couple of questions here. Do you agree with that? And if so, what exactly does that mean for us in the long and short term?
Yeah, herd immunity is a term that I think is thrown around a little bit, but really what we're looking for is, what herd immunity means is, it's like other childhood diseases we vaccinate, measles, pertussis. Quite frankly, we just don't think about it anymore. In other words, there's so few cases, we're not seeing it. I think we're going to get to herd immunity in Rhode Island. That I feel very confident about because Rhode Island's getting nice vaccine uptake. In the United States, I'm less confident because certain parts of the state aren't seeing the vaccine confidence that we need to do that. There's a host of reasons why that's the case, but I think in Rhode Island, the uptake's been robust. And one of the things about us is, as a state, we usually lead the nation in vaccination. So I feel pretty good about us reaching herd immunity, and I think New England's going to get there too. So I'm optimistic about that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you specifically about Rhode Island. Right now, I was just looking at the data before the show. There's less than 40% of the state's population that's fully vaccinated. But given that there have also been close to 200,000 cases of COVID in Rhode Island, what does that mean in terms of the percentage of Rhode Islanders who are immune to COVID-19?
Yeah, Kim, you bring up a very good point. In other words, we get herd immunity one of two ways: getting a vaccine or natural infection. You know, a little bit over half the state is immune because we can throw in people who were immunized. Now, some of them have been vaccinated. It is better to get immunity from the vaccine as opposed to disease for a couple of reasons. One, you're better protected against the variants. The second reason, which is really, I think, the most important, was it's not fun to get sick. And another thing that's in the back of your mind is, if we're really going to stop the spread of variants in Rhode Island and in the country and the planet, it's in everyone's best interest not to get infected. This is why when I hear people talk about young people getting infected because it's not that big a deal, it worries me because they're missing the point about the risk of variants. And that's what's going on in India right now, why India is in such a terrible, terrible situation right now.
As we continue reopening and also watching the data, where do you think is our weak spot? What area are you watching that if you're thinking, okay, if we don't execute this or manage this correctly, we could slide backward?
Yeah, I think I'm still seeing a fair number of cases every day, and that intrigues me. The other thing I'm kind of curious about is, I was at the zoo Sunday with Gail and the kids. I've never seen the zoo as crowded as I saw it Sunday. Now, everybody was wearing masks, but people weren't staying far apart. So it's funny. We had a very short visit to the zoo because I said to the kids, it's way too peoply today. And, you know, I think what I worry about is us getting a little bit too close to each other as we get outside. And, you know, we're opening things up, but the science hasn't changed. This virus still spreads one person to another, and we're even seeing that in our over 75 group. 1 out of 2 end up in the hospital. That concerns me as well. So I think we need to be very careful about not being too peoply with each other.
Dr. M, you mentioned India a little bit earlier. We just have about a minute left, but we've been hearing a lot about the COVID crisis happening there. Can you boil down quickly for us what's going on in India, and is it something that could happen here?
Yeah, I don't see it happening here for a couple of reasons. One is we have really good vaccine distribution, which they don't have good vaccine distribution. We have really good health care and access to health care. That's a big crisis over there. Our economies are well controlled. They haven't shut down their economy, and they don't have the infrastructure we do. The other thing in India that puts them really at risk is that it's a very rural country, and I don't think they even know how bad it is over there. When I talk to my colleagues, very worried about what's going on in India. It's a humanitarian crisis. This is where the planet needs to respond. Quite frankly, if I'm President of the United States, I've got planes going over there with vaccine. I'm trying to find a way to solve problems.
Dr. Jim McDonald from the Rhode Island Department of Health, thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Enjoy this beautiful spring day, my friends.
You as well.